Hello dear students, welcome to the online teaching session of class 7th. Today I am going to teach you English literature, and the first lesson that is given in your book is The Master Artist, written by Carol Murray. Carol Murray is an author and creator of the site Children's Storybooks Online. She created the site to fulfill her lifelong dreams of writing stories for children. And she has written The Master Artist, which is wonderful story among all her story books. Now, this lesson moves around two people. One is a painter whose name is Monshai Sini Alabe, and the another one is a patron whose name is Giuliano Bartoli. In this lesson, the author has used some French as well as some Italian words, and the author has beautifully expressed the views of the two persons. Now, let us start the lesson.
Monsai Sini Labe was a master artist in his day, who in 1392 was ready to retire. It was the month of May, but Giuliano Bartoli, a rich Italian patron, sent for him saying, "I would like a portrait of myself on my banquet room wall. Could you paint it? It is 20 feet tall." Contemplating this request, Monsai Elabe shook his head. "I am ready to retire, so I am not available for hire. I am sorry. I simply can't paint your portrait." But seeing the disappointment in Senior Bartoli's eyes, he continued, "Well, there is a possibility, if you can find it in your heart, to allow me to explore the limits of my abilities. Not for money, mind you, but for food and a bed instead. Furthermore, you need not even pose, because my memory is excellent. Already I can see your portrait and how to derive it. But I insist, Senior Bartoli, while I work, your portrait stays private even from you." "This is strange," thought the patron. But he also thought about how highly the artist had been recommended. "Of course," he said, "anything you wish. But I insist upon paying you at least something for your comfort. Let's draw up a contract." Now a glint came to the Monsai Elabe's eyes as he gazed upon that 20-foot wall and thought of all that space, such a wonderful place for schemes and things to give imagination wings. Because unknown to Senior Bartoli or anyone else for that matter, for all of his career, which was 45 years, Monsai Elabe had yearned to paint in his own way. And what way was that? Certainly not the style of Byzantine or of Proto-Renaissance. No, Monsai Sini Elabe had hungered to break free of restraints. But the guild, his craft and livelihood, would never have allowed it, so he followed their rules, although never proud of it. Of course, he didn't reveal this to Senior Bartoli. Signing the contract, they sealed the agreement. Immediately, the master artist threw a high curtain in front of a wall, a curtain through which Senior Bartoli couldn't see at all. He tried to peek, but Monsignor Elabe insisted on total privacy for his artistic techniques. A week passed. "How is it coming?" asked the hopeful Senior Bartoli. Answering him from behind the curtain, Monsignor Elabe said, "It is coming quite well. You know, at the age of 8, I was apprentice to the great Ambrogio Laurenti. I could never dishonor his name. He taught me the art of grinding pigment, laying plaster, sometimes slowly, sometimes faster. He taught me how to draw and, most important, not to hurry. My training was rigorous and after certification even more vigorous. Senior Bartoli, a masterpiece, takes while at least." Reluctantly, Senior Bartoli withdrew. A month passed. "How is it coming?" Senior Bartoli asked. "It's coming well," said Monsignor Elabe, again from behind the curtain. Along with his words came the strange sound of swooshing, clanking, and slapping. "You know, you are fortunate that I am painting your portrait. Only bun fresco will do. It's 4 coats of lime plaster. First layer, the Tulisio, followed by Erisio, then Eninato, and finally the Intonaco, not to mention the part where I draw. But it's the best plaster process I ever saw. Senior Bartoli, it will last forever, but alas, it is a time-consuming endeavor." Signing deeply, the patron again withdrew. Just how long would this take? Who knew? Another 3-4 months passed, and finally half a year went by. Senior Bartoli, the patron, marched in demanding of Monsignor Elabe, the master artist, to see his portrait. "You must be finished by now, and today I will see it," he shouted, shaking with frustration. Stepping from behind the cloth, as though surprised by such anger, Monsignor Elabe said calmly, "That's fine. You need it only to request it." And he pulled aside the 20-foot curtain. Galeno Bartoli stood for a minute, and then his mouth fell open, his eyes turned red, and he grabbed what few hairs he had left on his head. He did a little hop and then a twitch, and his eyebrows contorted as though bewitched. Galeno Bartoli obviously did not like his portrait. Not a bit. Galeno Bartoli threw a fit. "How absurd! How obscene! What does this mean? You will not receive 1 florin. Do you hear? You are not an artist, maybe a thief or a madman. Get out of my sight. You will leave my house tonight or I will throw you out." So, what had Monsignor Elabe drawn that was wrong? He couldn't see it. He had first and fixed for so long. It was his masterpiece. He wasn't sorry, no, not at all, that he had drawn to his heart's content for 20 feet tall, no matter what anybody's could say. Monsignor Sinielabe had drawn it his way. Perhaps his patron couldn't tolerate his obsession with cubist expression, but Picasso would have been proud. If truth be told, Monsignor Elabe wasn't crazy. Surely he had simply been born 500 years too early. Now, children, I will tell you the summary of the story. The Master Artist by Carol Murray is a short illustrated children's story set in the year 1300. This is about a master artist by the name Monsignor Sini Elabe who was ready to retire after 45 years of being an artist. One day, a rich Italian patron, Giuliano Bartoli, requested him to make a 20 feet tall portrait of himself on his banquet room wall. At first, the artist denied, and then, after seeing the patron's disappointment, he agreed and told him that painting will be kept in private until it is finished. After 6 months, the painting was revealed, but Bartoli was so disappointed with the outcome, he got so angry. However, for Monsignor Labe, it was his masterpiece. It was just unfortunate that Bartoli could not appreciate this kind of art called cubism. So, dear children, this was the story. I hope you understood this. In the next teaching session, we will discuss some tough words and its exercise. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and read the lesson. Thank you.